Hey everyone, it's Armegon and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be going through the VIPER Mini and the Model O- for Minecraft PvP. So I know a ton of you guys are going to skip the entire video just to see my final opinion. I highly recommend watching the entire video because I'll be going through stuff that most other tutorials and reviews don't really talk about. So yeah. Also, yes, my left and right clicks are swapped. Don't at me. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about the shape of each mice. When you stretch out your palm, you can see that it's not completely flat. There is like a bit of a hole or like a concave gap over here. When you grip something, you're going to want to have something to fill up that gap so that it's more comfortable. You can get like a better grip on it. As you can see over here, the Mini does have a hump, which makes it incredibly comfortable for the Mini to be gripped. The O- is very flat, so it's pretty uncomfortable. But I think after a while, you might get used to it. It's a bit of an irregular shape. The thing that made the Model O series kind of famous in Minecraft is because of the demouse timer. You can easily edit how easily you want the mouse to double click and triple click with the program that comes in the mouse. The Model O- is very good for drag clicking as well as butterfly clicking. And as you can see over here, I'm getting around 20 CPS with drag clicking. The VIPER Mini cannot drag click because of its double click prevention. The highest I'm getting now is around 5 to 6 CPS. And yeah, same thing for butterfly clicking. You cannot double click on this. Highest I've gotten is like, I think 12 CPS. And that was when I was like really pushing it. For jitter clicking, both mice have their pros and cons, and I'll explain them right now. When it comes to Model O-, the keys are incredibly light, but the distance between the keys itself and like the mouse body is pretty far. I'll click on the mouse and you can see that I'm punching, and there's still a bit of distance to be covered. So like, if you watch my tutorial on how to jitter click I did a few days ago, you'll know that the easiest way to jitter click or to click is to have the mouse key bounce up from the bottom of the bit so that you can, you know, exert less strength or need less strength to kind of like get the mouse key to bounce up as fast as possible. So that's one thing I really don't like about this mouse. The Mini is the complete opposite. The gap between the mouse keys and the mouse itself is a lot less than the Model O-, but the keys are so damn heavy. Holy shit. Like, I know I have grip tape over here, so it's gonna be slightly heavier, but even without grip tape back then, I found the keys a bit resistant because they were pretty heavy. So both ways, it's hard to jitter click on these the same way you would do on the G Pro wireless. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get past like 13 to 14 CPS, even though I can do so very easily on the G Pro wireless and most other mice. This is something you're gonna have to bear in mind when you're buying the VIPER Mini. It won't really affect the gameplay too much, so don't worry about that, but just, you know, kind of like know it exists, I guess. Alright, next thing I want to talk about is the tracking. I love the VIPER Mini tracking so damn much. Holy shit, the feet are so good. It feels like the mouse is floating. Like, oh my god. The Model O- has 4 smaller skates, while the VIPER Mini has 2 larger skates. And as we learn in science class, there's a lot less pressure, which leads to less friction. I know there are feet and skates you can purchase for Model O and Model O-, separate from the mouse itself. But you're gonna have to spend a bit more money. And not only that, I don't actually own them. So I can't really give an honest review. So yeah. Alright, so now we'll be going through the most important thing, which I feel one should bear in mind when, you know, buying these mice. Both of these are cheap mice, but the build quality for both of them are completely different. The Mini, I have to say, is by far one of the sturdier, better built mice I've used in a long while. There is minimal creaking. You can tell the plastic they use is fantastic and whatnot. You get exactly what you promise, and even after using it for 6 months, I've not seen any like creaking or factory defects or anything along those lines. I absolutely love the VIPER Mini because of how sturdy and how good it is to use in the long run. I personally don't really like the Model O- build quality, and this is like something that a lot of people have called out as well. So it's not just me. My right mouse button started creaking after like a week of using it. Also, the body itself feels a bit soft in a sense. I'm pressing the sides right now, and it feels like it's caving in under my strength, and I'm not using that much strength either. This is something you're really going to have to bear in mind when choosing between these two mice. The Mini is going to last you for a really long time. It's like, it's been 6 months and there's nothing going wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. But this started dying. No, not really dying. I mean, I won't go so far as to say it's dying. But this starting to break into problems after like a week or two. So if you're looking for a mouse to last you for like 2 or 3 years, you have to consider very carefully if you want a mouse that might break after a while. So my final take on each mice is that if you butterfly click or if you drag click, or if you're okay with a mouse like potentially breaking after like a few weeks, you can get the Model O-. In the long run, it might not be a good mouse to get. The Mini is a much safer option in my opinion, and if you want a mouse that can last you for years to come, you want to get the Mini instead. Though I'm going to be completely honest here, if you have the money to do so, I wouldn't get either of these mice because they're kind of outdated. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.